Good morning, everyone. It's a very beautiful day today. I think it's going to be nice. It's Sunday morning. It's quite early, it's about 6:30, but I always wake up early, even at the weekends. And I thought today's the day. I'll show you the April garden tour because the tulips and the daffodils, well, the daffodils, some of them have finished already. But the tulips are looking really lovely. I had a bucket full of about 4 different mixes and put them all in the bucket, mixed them all together. Funnily enough, all the reds seem to have come up together and all the oranges seem to be in a little group. The oranges are slightly behind, but it's very cheerful, and April is the wonderful time for spring bulbs. So I thought today, let's have a look around the garden. I wanted to thank you all so much for watching all of my Easter extravaganza mini-series. I did so much gardening, it was such a lot of fun. Well, thank you very much for watching. So let's have a look at my garden today. We'll have a little wander around and I'll show you some of the new things that I've planted and some of the things that I've done. And we'll have a little wander around the garden together. Let's start over here in Shady Corner. And I think the most beautiful thing at the moment here are the Brunnera. Those wonderful blue flowers are just so cheerful. I do encourage you to get some Brunnera, everyone, because even when the flowers do finish, they are gorgeous leaves and they love shade. You can see the leaves. Very pretty. They love shade. And my Pyrrhus over the back, that's looking very lovely at the moment. I think that's a forest flame. I bought about 3 Pyrrhuses. They're about a year ago, I suppose. And I can't remember which is which, but I'm sure that one's the forest flame. And then my row of Dryopterus affinis ferns, they love it over here in the shade. It does get a little bit windy though sometimes. The wind comes over that fence there, and yeah, it's a little bit of a wind tunnel. But I have my caladiums, which I've potted up, and they're on my windowsill indoors in the kitchen. Nothing at all has happened with those, but I'm hoping if and when I'm going to dot them in between all the ferns for a pop of colour. I think that would look very pretty. But nothing's happened. The cannas, on 2 of them, they've started growing through, but nothing on the caladiums. I have the beginnings of my bleeding heart dicentra, and I'm very pleased to say no slug damage on my hostas as yet. Well, I shouldn't say that, tempting fate, but they're doing wonderfully well. And I did get some organic gel repellent stuff, which I've put in circles around the pots. But they're looking very lovely. And my rhododendron. You'll see in my last video, or one of my last videos, I gave a little haircut to all the euonymus little hedge. So I'm hoping that that will help it bush out. And we have some leaves forming now on my apple tree. No flowers on the apple tree though, so I'm guessing that means we're not going to have any fruit. So this is a view from, if I sit on this chair, this would be the kind of view that I get, which is very nice. And I do sit on this chair quite often. So let's go along and see what we have. Of course, very pretty tulips. And then I've just planted some pulmonaria, some lungwort recently. So there's one, the pink one down the bottom, and a little blue one there. My wonderful new Picea pungens hoopsii is doing exceptionally well. It's happy in its pot. That's a bottomless pot, so it just goes straight to the earth. So it seems to be very happy. And I'm very pleased to say the heucheras are all looking very good. They were quite small maybe a month ago, and I gave them all a tidy up. They're just so lovely and colourful. So they're doing well, but some of the other heucheras, I'll show you in a moment, they need a little bit of help. And I may paint my little snail. That's a kind of project I have in mind. I may or may not show you that because I'm not the most wonderful of artists with a paintbrush. Very pretty tulips. These are going to be a lovely colour, sort of like an orangey red. And oh my goodness, my Photinia red robin is just splendid at the moment. It's got so big. This is its second spring, and you can, once the leaves, they'll kind of turn into a brownish colour after the red, and what you can do is you can cut those off and then new ones will come red again. And apparently you can do that all the way up until August time. Keep trimming them. And we have my Chamaecyparis. Now I know how to say it. Thank you to everyone, because you were giving me phonetic pronunciations of the Chamaecyparis. These, I believe, are alliums. Yes, they look like alliums. But we've got some beautiful tulips. Unfortunately, daffodils rather. Unfortunately, isn't that gorgeous? Unfortunately, I can't remember all the names. I did have tags. That's beautiful. I did have tags, but some of them have disappeared. That one in front of us, there's a tag, and that's an ascot. Very pretty. Kind of double fluffies. And the biggest difference is the lack of lemon cypress. Do you remember? My topiary balls have now gone, but I really, really like it. So we've just got more tulips, more daffodils, another one that's very pretty. But the only thing I don't like with the daffodils and the tulips is you have to leave the leaves. Once the plant has finished flowering, of course you have to leave the leaves to soak up the sun, and that's when it gets quite messy. And I've showed you this before, my plum tree is looking really lovely with the flowers, which I think means we'll get some fruit. Bay tree is looking lovely, and it's got these flowers, and I don't remember seeing all these flowers before. That's very happy. I mean, some of you have told me that you've lost your bay trees, which is such a shame, and I don't know what I've done to keep my bay tree. I guess it's just the luck of the draw. You can see I've dotted the flamingos around just for a little change of look. That's my Picea pungens super blue seedling, And thank you all, because you've given me some good suggestions for what I can plant here. I wanted something low. This is completely full shade, this bed. Something low, because as you can see, the door opens and closes, and I had agapanthus there, which I've moved because the agapanthus kept getting hit by the door. So let's go round this way. Oh, I'll just explain. Do you remember that I planted all my Carex pups here? And something kept digging them up. Every morning they were dug up. And I didn't know what had done it. And we think it's probably the magpies. We have some very naughty magpies in this garden. I don't think it was the dogs. I don't think it was foxes. I think magpies. So let's have a wander this way. Oh, my walnut is coming into life, which I was thinking, is it dead? But no, it's not dead. And I pruned this climbing rose this year. I think it's going to look nice. It's really filled in, not like the other one. Oh, look at these. They're just ending a bit now, but they were so sweet. They're called minnow. So precious and tiny. Oh, and a big weed at the bottom. So the olive tree, we need to prune that. We need to find out how to prune it, but I don't think we do it yet. I believe we do it around June time, but that's done ever so well. It's gone through a winter, and it was a harsh winter. We had a whole week of snow. The snow stayed around, which is very unlike things over here to stay for a whole week. And of course I lost a lot of plants. That's a very pretty euphorbia, and that's my Formium brown sugar. I was a bit worried about this Fatsia because, well, we do have a bud there. That bud there will have some new leaves, some new of these. But there's nothing there, nothing there. We do have one bud in the middle of that. So I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with that. I can cut it right down and it will start again. Oh, it's such a shame. That's my Pinus van der Waals pyramid, which I planted recently. Doing very well. And my yew. Here's the fountain area. Chinese plumbago is beginning to perk up again, come back to life. And my heucheras are looking gorgeous. And thank you everyone who gave us all the wonderful suggestions for paint colours for the fountain. You are wonderful. You really, really are so much fun. That's my Acer Little Princess. Very nice. Hydrangea, Limelight, which I've moved. The poor old hydrangea's been all over the place. Trachycarpus is doing very well indeed. Then this is my fourth blue plant. That's a Juniper Rocky Mountain and it's called Blue Arrow. Looking good. My little Ilex crenata cloud pruned topiary, which I love. Got to love a Nandina. When the new leaves come on the Nandina, they'll be bright red. And here's my new favourite. Very small at the moment, but this is my Petilia Pink Crispy. And if that grows anything like as well as my friend Edie's has grown, I will be delighted. This heuchera, now this is what I've got to do with all my heucheras. They're all wet at the moment because it's morning dew, but can you see it's grown so big. It's called Dark Secret, this particular one. Grown so big, it's got these big long stalks. So I think what I need to do on quite a few of my heucheras is dig them up and divide them. Divide them all and give them a little rejuvenation. So that's what I need to do for those. So that's the garden. These are pretty. These are called Flyaway tulips. And I have little flowers on my cherry. Last year I ate all the cherries, I ate them. They were delicious. So that's the view without the lemon cypresses. I've one more thing to show you, which is the story of the bunting. Richard said to me a month ago, do you think we should take down the bunting? And then the very next day, this piece was down and I said, Richard, have you pulled my bunting down? Look at it. Have you pulled, I need to tidy this up. This is a bit of a mess. Have you pulled my bunting down? He said, no, I wouldn't touch your bunting. And then I looked around a couple of days later and this piece, this has come down. Oh dear, wrapped around one of my daffodils. What's gone on there? To sort that out. Anyway, it's the string. The string has just disintegrated really. So I think it's time. It made me smile. At the time, it was cheerful. I liked it. I might keep a piece and just put it over the cabin. Just to remember Carnival Corner. I'm just bringing you out to the front garden quickly because back in October we did a collaboration with Renee from RB the Garden Nanny and AJ from AJ's Green Thumb, and we all did bulb planting. These are the bulbs which Richard chose and I wanted to show you what they look like. He chose these here which were called Blue Parrot, where they're quite purple to be honest, don't look blue at all. So he chose those and he chose a blend of Narcissus. We also had some, oh here they are, just finishing, little Mascaris. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on the front garden. I have a lot of weeds. I must do those. I might do that today. But this is the front garden, which looks very cheerful, especially from a distance. So I'm very pleased with how that looks. And then of course we've just got the same repeated over here. Let's go to the back again. That's my garden in April. It's a lovely, lovely time of year, spring, my very favourite time of year. And it won't be long, unfortunately, the daffodils and the tulips will be gone, so I'm glad I've captured them. But of course, following those will be the alliums. And I do love the alliums. So that's it from me, everyone. I hope you're having fun in your gardens. I know some of you still have snow. You have such long winters, but it can't be much longer for you. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Janette. I'm the Enthusiastic Gardener. Take care, everyone, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.